Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where today we're going to do another segment in my Tools 101. The tool we're covering today is one you will always have in your tool bag, and that is the impact driver. We're going to go over all of the basics so that you feel comfortable using an impact driver and know everything you need to know in order to do so. So without further ado, let's get to it. With the impact driver, I wanted to show you a couple different options that you can purchase. So with any tool, there's a million different brands that you can have. And so for this Tools 101, I wanted to demonstrate using a lower price point and a higher price point. They both do the same thing. They just maybe have a little better qualities than others, but I promise you that I have done every single one of my projects with both of these. You can hang a picture frame to build a deck with either one of these, say what you want. So no matter the type that you get, they're pretty much basically the same. I'll show you a couple different differences, but this is a Heart Tools one, and it is sold at Walmart and Amazon. Milwaukee is sold at Home Depot, Amazon, online. You can find them a bunch of different places, and they both run off of batteries. This is a 20-volt battery. It's rechargeable. And the good thing about if you do stick with one brand, you can use this same battery on every other tool that they make, and they're rechargeable. Same with this. You can use this battery on every other tool, and that's Milwaukee, and they're rechargeable. So both of these brands come with different size batteries. So for example, the Heart one, this is their 20 volt, and it's the smaller battery. But they also make one like this, and this is the Milwaukee one, where on the bigger ones, this is a 5 amp hour. You can see here on the front that it has the indicator on how much battery life you have. So if you press the button, it'll light up. This one I obviously need to charge. So in order to put them on, you just take the battery and flick it into place, and you do that with both. They both have areas. This one is on the side. It is an area to hold an extra bit. This one has one, and it's an area to hold an extra bit. I will say the one on the back of, on the side of the Milwaukee always falls out. I don't ever use it. The Heart one always stays in. So I do use it. The other difference is, so on an impact driver, this portion is called the chuck. That is the part that holds all of your bits. I'm gonna take one out. In order to remove it, and these are both done the same way, you pull out on the chuck. I gotta hold it here though. Pull out on the chuck, and then it releases it. So you can see it is that a hexagon? I believe it's a hexagon. All impact drivers have this look. The Milwaukee is the exact same. And that is because when you get a bit set, I have both brands here too, all of your bits on the back are a hexagon shape. So I can actually use a Heart bit in a Milwaukee, and I can use a Milwaukee bit in a Heart. They all are compatible. One of the main differences between these two, and probably the biggest difference in my opinion, is when I go with the Milwaukee to put a bit in, this is what I do. I push it in, and it's easy as that. It's locked into place, and that's all there is. But to remove it, I still have to pull the chuck out. With the Heart, I have to go like that, but I can pull it right out. It does not lock the bit right into place. In order to put a bit in this one, and maybe some other brands are like this as well, you have to pull the chuck out the same way you do when you remove it, put it in, and then it locks it. not that big of a deal, but at the same time, it's annoying. I love that the Milwaukee just pops in, because if you have a lot of different screws you're working with, like say some are Star, some are Phillips, or you have different size star bits for different lengths of screws, you'll have to replace your bits. And so it's nice to just pop it out and then pop a new one in. It's not that big of a deal to have to do this, but it's annoying. Extra step. So just know that if your bit is not locking in place, you probably have to pull the chuck out to pop it in. So once they're in, the actual working mechanism is the same. So if I just hold down the button a tiny bit, you'll see that a light came on right here. And on the Milwaukee, it comes on up here. There's usually always a light that comes on. The placement may be different. These buttons on the side, they're on either side. If they are pushed all the way to the right, that means you are going counterclockwise. So if you were removing a screw, you'll have the button pushed all the way this way. If you take your button and you push it all the way to the left, that is the way that you drill a screw in, or drive a screw in, and it's going clockwise. If you want to put a safety on, you can take it and put it right in the middle. Both of them do the same thing. So there's a little out on either side. Nothing happens. It's a safety. Although the light will still come on. So one other big difference about these two. First, this one I actually like because it's a really small handle. This battery is heavy. So if I had the little battery, it's a lot lighter, but it's easy for me to grip. This one's not bad either though. But I feel like, actually they're probably the same in weight. I should go weigh them. But this one is a little more advanced. It has 3 different levels of impact. So the difference between a normal driver, like a screwdriver, so basically there's a drill and a driver. What's the difference between a drill and a driver? A drill, you can actually use all of these bits. If you're a first-time DIYer, it might be smarter to save money, to practice, by just getting a drill if you don't want to have to buy both. A drill holds a bunch of drill bits, and that's how you drill holes through wood, through drywall, whatever. A driver, these are impact drivers. Just get an impact driver. Drivers are like a mechanical screwdriver, basically, to put it in layman's terms. But an impact driver has a little more, I guess they call torque, where it not only does it, when it's driving the screw in, it like puts extra torque behind it, and it's better for denser material. So like when we were building the deck, we needed an impact driver. If you have a really big screw that, for instance, takes like a hex, I should get some screw examples. If you have like a bolt, but it's like a screw bolt, and you need power to get it through a stud, you want an impact driver because it is able to push things through denser material and bigger screws through. Where a screwdriver, it won't have enough power to do so. So these, if you see, there's a 1, 2, 3. The higher up you go, the more torque you have. So the more pressure. So if I was putting in, okay. So say I have this really long screw. It's almost like a lag bolt. So you can see on the top, it's a hex. So I can't put a Phillips in there. I need one of these. So it fits in and it's gonna act just like a screwdriver. So these all come in the bit set. But you need a lot of power to be able to drive this all the way through a big post or something. You need the extra torque. So I would have it up on like 3 to be able to give me enough power to get it all the way in. If it was a tiny screw, I mean, you could have it in whatever. I always keep it in 3 because I like the power. I think that pretty much takes care of everything. So when it comes to your drill bits, the reason you want to get one of these is because there's so many different screws, so many different things that you're gonna need, and you need all the attachments. Each one of these are star bits, and it's because they look like a star. If you are wondering how to know what size it is, this one, it might be hard to see. It says T20. And then there's different sized. This is a T15. So each screw box will tell you what type of bit it needs. A lot of them even give you the bits, but I like these better. These are the hex bolts, and they have the sizes on the side. So it's really nice to just get one of these, and then you have all the majority of all the types. This is just a Phillips, but believe it or not, there's different size Phillips. And then a lot of them come with extenders. So this is a nice one because it's an extender, but then you can also, so with this extender, or if you have a longer screw that you're having a hard time keeping in place, you can use one of these. And then if you have your screw, you place it on, it's a Phillips, right? But then you can actually cover this so that if it gets wobbly while you're starting out, this holds it in place. And then this can just, like, once it hits the wood, it'll drive back. And then attempt to keep them neat. I bet you won't be able to. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you learned something new about a new tool or learned something extra about a tool you may already have. Like always, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I'll be sure to address them all. You can find all the links to everything in the description below, and make sure you give it a like and subscribe, as I'm always coming out with a new one every Monday at 9 a.m. Thanks for watching my latest episode on Tools 101. I'm Nail Gun Nelly, and we will see you next week.